Welcome back to Impact. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Snow falling this morning, Christmas music playing when I'm not on the radio. It's awesome. We are going to be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is high school theater. And a big production of Mary Poppins, the Broadway musical, is coming to Holy Trinity Catholic High School. And joining me right now is the Vice Principal, Mat Campbell. Good morning.
Good morning, Russell.
It's exciting. I missed last year when you were here talking about Shrek. Mm-hmm. How did that go?
You know, we were thrilled with the success of Shrek last year. One of the things that we were most happy about is the number of community members who got behind Shrek. We featured over 65 of our students, both on stage and behind stage, and we were able to have a successful 3-day run, and we really looked at it as family-friendly theater. And what impressed us the most is, you know, typically we have our Holy Trinity family come out to support our programs, but with Shrek, we kind of moved to this new place where it was truly a community production, where we had people who weren't even connected to our school coming out to check out our show, and that was very exciting for us.
So this year is Mary Poppins, and the first question that comes to my mind is, you're doing 3 performances, December 14th, 15th, and 16th. The first 2 are evening performances at 7, and the 16th is a matinee at 2. How do you configure the theater? How many people can you get in there? Because I suspect you're going to want to have as many seats as you can possibly have.
Absolutely. So we can fit 350 audience members in our theater when we're in full seating, because the SECPA theater allows us to do some different configurations. So we're going to do full seating for this particular show. We did sell out all 3 shows last year, so we're going to try again this year with 3 shows. And then there's discussions being had now. You know, maybe next year it's time to add a 4th. We'll see how this year goes. One of the other interesting things we're doing is that we are previewing Mary Poppins for some of our elementary schools during the day. So the Wednesday and Thursday before we open, some of our kiddos in our smaller schools will get to come in and check out the show, to kind of drum up some buzz and have the little ones see what it looks like to be live on stage.
I'm curious the difference. Last year you did Shrek, which was kind of this generation. Mary Poppins is even before my generation. So did the kids know it? Were they aware of it?
You know, it's funny because on the ride down here, I asked the 2 cast members I have with me today, you know, do you guys remember Mary Poppins? And the grade 12 students kind of have a recollection of it. The younger students, not so much. I think they said, you know, is it Nanny McVie, which is another kind of similar-ish story. But what we know is that Mary Poppins is classic. We know that the parents in the community, the title will resonate. We did recognize that the new Mary Poppins Returns is coming out in a few weeks, so it's kind of relevant right now. And we knew it would be a family-friendly title, and that was super important to us.
So Matt's been at Holy Trinity since the very beginning. 8 years ago, you said. I can't
8
believe
years.
It's been 8 years. Wow. I'm curious as an observer, because I know that you weren't directly connected in the early years. How have you seen the maturation of the theater performances coming out of Holy Trinity?
You know, I've always been involved in the arts in some regard in different capacities since we've been at Holy Trinity. And one of the reasons I wanted to work at Holy Trinity was because of the Suncor Energy Center for Performing Arts and having that state-of-the-art space connected to our building. And it's been an absolute joy watching how we've built over the last 8 years. We certainly started with our yearly musical, maybe smaller casts, and now we're at the point where we're offering the Trinity Festival of Art. We're doing over 23 arts-based events this year, 2 full-scale theater musical productions. We've got coffee houses on the go, art shows, art nights, dance shows, band performances. So we've really been able to kind of grow and build capacity in our young artists. And then we're seeing these guys go on, and they're either going to post-secondary to study or they're in the Keano shows. We really feel like we're nurturing community artists now, which is exciting.
I know at Father Merck, they do an amazing job with Sansa's Anonymous, and I remember interviewing them over the years that it's kind of the prestigious thing to be involved with at Father Merck. Has the theater program at Holy Trinity reached that kind of popularity where when you have auditions, so many people come out?
Yes, I would say that our defining identity at Trinity, I mean, we are a Trinity of academics, arts, and athletics. We offer everything at our school, but arts is certainly one of our driving focuses. And we do have many students come out to try to be in the plays, but if they're not in the plays, then they're dancing in the dance show or they're performing in the band concert. We have over 250 students in our dance academy. We've got over 400 students in band. We really have we're nurturing well-rounded artists in our school. But our philosophy is that we're built to perform, whether you're on the stage or on the field or in the gym or wherever. At Trinity, we're building you to be able to perform. And what's amazing is a number of our students who are out on the football field, but then in the choir room, or they're in the culinary arts room, but then they're off practicing for the play. So we're really trying to give students these multiple opportunities.
You may not know the answer to this, but how many students are involved both on and off stage with Mary Poppins, roughly?
Roughly, we're probably at about 70 students. Mrs. Lawson, the director, made an interesting decision this year to double cast all of the major parts. We had so many students who wanted an opportunity to perform that she didn't want to say no to anybody, which is admirable, and I applaud her for that. So we're really double casted. So we're looking at about 70 students. Parts are doubled up. We've got a huge crew of students backstage doing all the lighting tech, sound tech, mic tech. Everything is being done by students.
That's fantastic. I'm excited to hear about the 400 students in band.
Yes, our band concerts are tonight and tomorrow. Tonight will be 200 kids. Tomorrow will be 200 kids.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And who's the band teacher?
So Mr. James D'Souza is our lead band teacher. We've added Mr. Benjamin Lear this year as a supporter because our program's been growing. Yeah.
Ben's back.
Ben is back, and he's working with us, and he's doing some guitar stuff and some other things with our kids. So, we say band, but we mean more than band. We're running a guitar program and a couple other interesting things.
Well, it sounds really exciting. The show, again, is Mary Poppins, the Broadway musical. There are 3 performances. Now, if you're listening and you have kids and oh my God, we want to take our kids to this, don't wait, because last year's production of Shrek sold out. This one's likely going to do the same. So it's December 14th at 7 o'clock, the 15th at 7 o'clock, and a matinee at 2 on the 16th. Now, do people just go to the box office at this, I'm going to say the whole word now, Suncor Energy Center for the Performing Arts? They shorten it by SECPA, and I encourage them not to do that, but they do it anyway.
Yes.
So is that where people go to get tickets?
Yeah, you've got 3 options. You can certainly pop into the box office Monday to Friday from 12 to 4:30, pay $10, get your ticket. You can call in and book on over the phone, but most people now are doing the online thing. So on holytrinity.fmcschools.ca, there's a link. You can go right there, purchase your tickets, and pick them up at the door when you come to see the show.
That's awesome. And if you haven't been to the Suncor Energy Center for the Performing Arts yet, and I know that's probably unbelievable, but there are people that haven't. You have the state-of-the-art space in our community, and I know that the drama program at Holy Trinity has just been growing and growing over the years, and this is going to be an amazing show. We have 2 of the cast members with us here today. They are double cast as Mary Poppins. And it's Kuda Simba and Mallory Routier, and we're going to talk to them when we come back with Impact. It is a team effort of United Way of Fort McMurray and Wood Buffalo, Fuse Social, your McMurray Magazine, Shaw Spotlight, and 91.1 The Bridge. Welcome back to the show. We're talking about Mary Poppins, the Broadway musical, coming to Holy Trinity in just a matter of days. And joining me right now are Mary Poppins 1 and Mary Poppins 2. Kuda and Mallory, good morning.
Morning. Good
morning. All right. So what do you do? Toss the dice to see who goes first, or how does that work?
No. We kind of had it like a setup plan for what we were doing, and then for our last show, our director chose who's going to perform it.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So this probably goes back to September. When did you have auditions?
September, yeah.
So tell me about that. And Kuda, lean into that microphone a little bit for me. So I'm interested to know, and each of you can answer the question. We'll ask Mallory first. What was it like auditioning, and how nervous were you really?
So I'm good with auditioning and monologues and stuff like that. I've been doing monologues for quite some time now, but it was the singing part that I struggled with because I was never a confident singer. And when our director asked me to audition for the role, I was like, sure, we'll try it. And the monologue went really well. The singing, she said I did good. I don't believe I did good, but it was scary, but it was
Awesome.
good.
How about you?
I feel like I've done like a lot of like speech arts and monologues. So then like Mallory, like she does speech arts too. So I wasn't really concerned about the speech arts, but it's always the singing because even like in musical theater, like there's the pitch and like all this like technical requirements, and they're really hard. And I feel like singing is harder because if you make a noise that you're not supposed to make, everybody knows that you really want to make that noise.
Yeah, or if you hit the wrong note off the top.
Yeah, but Miss Lawson was really understanding.
Is Mrs. Lawson she's the director, but is she also the music director?
Yes, she is.
So she's handling it all. Tell us a little bit about Mary Poppins, because it's been probably 45 years since I've seen it. Maybe 40.
Well,
What's the story?
So we have it's some things are a little different than the actual movie because, of course, we can't do everything the same. But it's the classic tale where, you know, the bank's children are not the best and they scare all their nannies, and Mary Poppins comes along and, you know, saves the day, and everything works out in the end.
Because she's kind of like the superpower, I guess, the icon in that story. I think I like to think of her that way because she managed to not only get the kids to start acting how they're supposed to, but also kind of like instill these values, and especially for the father because he had trouble kind of displaying his love for his kids, and then just her presence in the story. I think she helps the growth of almost every single character she interacts with. She helps them realize something for themselves.
I'm shaking my head. Does that not sound like The Sound of Music, what they just said? And both starring Julie
Yeah, very
Anderson.
similar.
Yes, yeah.
It totally sounds similar. So you started rehearsals when?
We started them early on.
Yeah, pretty much right after auditions.
Right
we
away. It
was
started
right
going,
away.
Yeah.
So I know in the Keanu theater world, it's like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all day Saturday. What is the structure of rehearsals like in a high school environment?
I think it's since it's double casted, Miss Lawson actually does have some of the cast members, or a majority of them, in the drama program during school time. I don't happen to be in that program, but I know rehearsals for Mallory were a lot like going to class every day.
Yeah, every day I have class, and that's when we get to do rehearsals with the ensemble and then with Mary. And then we have Sunday practices.
And then those would be my rehearsals.
So
for the
in
most
your
part.
world, you probably get credit for being in a play.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
it's
really
part of
cool.
my mark.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're just, what's the date today? It's the 4th, so you're 10 days away. Where are you in the process?
I like to think that things start to develop the most, like they say, under pressure, you start to produce your best work. So I feel like Tech Week is the week where I've noticed all our productions, they start to really take form. Like you reach a point in a play where you're like, oh my goodness, it's like this is coming together. And yeah, we're reaching that point, I think.
Theater does a lot of things for a lot of people. I'm curious for both of you, and we'll start with Mallory. Why has theater been important for you, and how has it improved you as a human being?
It's really putting me out there, and I just love it so much, and this is what I want to do with my future. And I was always one to go out there and, you know, do whatever I wanted to do, but I was always afraid. You know, everyone is scared in some sense, but with the theater, when I get to stand on the stage and I can be whoever I want, it's just really opened me up, and I can be who I want to be.
Awesome. How about you, Kuda?
I think I used to actually be shy, kind of. I know that a lot of people who have met me would totally, they'd be like, never, because I'm kind of like a bit more energetic now and charismatic. But I actually used to be like exceedingly, I was pretty shy. And then I first joined speech arts to perform on stage. And then it was kind of like the words that you were speaking, they're not really your own. So then you kind of could use that, not as a barrier, but something so you could say what you're saying to the best of your ability. And then you'd be, I want to say saved from any negative backlash I felt when I first started, because I just had the barrier of I was saying something that someone very smart, they had a plan and intention when they were writing the words. And then I just had to perform them. And then I felt like that really helped develop me into the person I am, because you always are it's always a growing process. I don't think you'll ever finish learning theater, because there's always so many different perspectives and so many different attitudes and just all these technicalities of how you can display the best character, because it's entertainment. And I just feel like it really helped develop me, in terms of putting myself out there like Mallory and just understanding things a bit better.
I get the sense from both of you that you've been in shows before. Am I right?
Yeah.
So, Mallory, how many shows have you done? Give me your bio.
So I've done speech arts, so a lot of monologues on stage by ourselves at competition for the music festival we have here. And then last year I was in Shrek the Musical. I played Pinocchio. That was a great role. I loved it. And I've also done a couple one-acts at our school too. So
Nice. Kuda?
I first started at Holy Trinity. I first did the first major play I did was Mulan, and then I played Mushu in that, and I was in grade 7. So that was like my first big role, lots of lines, lots of songs. And then after that, I proceeded to star in the majority, if not all, except for when we got evacuated because obviously we weren't here to perform that play. But yeah, I starred in the rest of them. Charlie Brown, I was Sally Brown. In Shrek, I was the dragon. And yeah.
What have you learned about the process of taking a script and a set of music, getting around a table, becoming familiar with this story, and taking it through the entire process of a production from start to finish? And how do you think that strengthens you as a person, that knowledge?
It's taught me that I need to set goals for myself because it's very hard to just sit there and get the script and be like, okay, done, read it all in one sitting. You need to take parts of it out and, do it in different acts and different scenes, and you go over it a lot, and it's just pacing yourself and getting to know your work and what you have to do.
Yeah. Kuda?
Yeah, kind of like Mallory said, I think one of the most interesting things I've found since we're double casted is when you take a script, you will interpret it one way because when you get a script, it's just words. It doesn't say any emotion that the character is feeling. You kind of have to figure that out yourself. And then with the double casting, I'll see Mallory do something and I'll be like, oh my goodness, I totally did not interpret it that way. You could definitely do that. And I love that. And then I'll do it and maybe she'll feel the same way. Especially with our Berts, I've noticed because I watch them rehearse because when we practice, they both do it at the same time. And sometimes one will say a line faster, one will say it slower, one will be really dramatic about it. And there's just you can see there's so many different ways to interpret a play. And then I feel that helps add to the perspectives in general that you can see on life.
In the movie, it was Julie Andrews and I think Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Who's playing the Dick Van Dyke part? That's double cast as well?
Yes.
So who's playing that?
So 2 of our students also at Holy Trinity. One is Junior and Owen.
Nice.
Yeah.
And again, is he the love interest of Mary Poppins?
That's debatable. A lot of people have argued it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of weird because she was his nanny. So I feel if we're trying to be safe, no. Definitely a heart. He likes her.
Bert definitely likes her.
He likes her. I think he admires her, but I don't know if it's
it's not mutual.
It's a one-way street.
Yeah.
If you will.
It adds some texture to the production. Yeah. I love it. Well, you guys are very well spoken. It's incredible that you're. What grade are you guys in?
I'm grade 11
and I'm grade 12.
You're just wow. Oh, great job. Well, I'm excited to talk with you a little bit more. We need to take another break. This is Impact, and today we're talking about Mary Poppins, the Broadway musical, which is coming to Holy Trinity at the Suncor Energy Center for the Performing Arts, December 14th to the 16th. And we'll be back with more right after this. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Russell Thomas in the studio with 2 talented actors from Holy Trinity High School, Kuda Simbi and Mallory Routhier. They're both playing Mary Poppins. And you're saying to yourself, well, how do they do that? How do they both play the same part? Well, they take turns. It's called a double cast production. And I assume that one night one of you plays and then the next night the other person plays. The person who's not playing doesn't sit in the wings all costumed up, ready to go, do they?
No.
Just in case.
Yeah, I feel it could be an understudy situation, worst case, but
if something happens, then we would throw the other Mary on, but
otherwise, I think it's the rest time, just prep for the next day.
Well, it's exciting. It's Mary Poppins. People of my generation will remember the film. Maybe you've seen a live production of Mary Poppins over the years. What are the songs that people might remember? Is Chim Chimmery one of them?
Supercalifragilistic, I feel, is the most popular song.
A Spoonful of Sugar.
Okay,
we have that one
sure.
too.
A spoonful of sugar makes the something go round. Merry go round?
Helps the medicine go down.
Oh, I screwed that one up.
It was close.
Okay, so Spoonful of Sugar, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Is Chim Chimmery part of their show?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Chim Chim.
They sing it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's kind of a recurring chorus.
And then there's this whole sweeps dance, which is very interesting and
Yeah.
complicated.
So I know that some musicals are acting, singing, and there's a great story, but some musicals also have dance. Is there a dance component to this?
Yes.
A lot of dancing.
We were
okay.
very
Yeah.
fortunate. Like since we're a performing arts school, they try to involve, I feel like, as many like different departments that we have because our dance academy, they're doing some of the tapping for our Step in Time number, and they did a really good job with that.
How about music? Is it off a track? Is it tracks or is it a live band?
So it's off a track
Yeah,
because it's just we don't have the space and room for a live band in our theater.
there's no pit.
Yeah, so
How about the set and all of that? Who does all that and how's it coming along?
We have been blessed that a lot of us have very hardworking parents, and they have been able to come to our practices. And while we're rehearsing, they're building us these amazing sets. A lot of the parents are handy, and Mallory's dad, I believe, has done a lot of the stuff for the play too.
he helped a lot with our one acts and things like that. Yeah, but any of the big props that we can't do ourselves, that's when all the parents help us. But any of the little things, our theater class does it all.
Is the set a fixed set or are there flies that come in and out? Is it quite complex?
I feel like they tried to make it because as most of us are in high school and some of us are like new to theater, so they tried to make it like as simplistic while like as visually appealing as it can. So there's a lot of like moving features, yeah, but I don't think it's overly complicated.
No.
You both have been performing in various ways over the last number of years. To date, what's the best moment of your performance career? Mallory, you first. The best one that just jumps out.
Other than this one, it was probably Shrek the musical last year because that was the first time I was ever in a musical and the first time I was ever given a singing role. And I really pushed myself that year because I was always afraid to sing and I was just acting and that's all I wanted to do. But when our director and my theater teacher pushed me to do that role, and like my parents did too, it opened my eyes to the whole theater world.
Yeah, and you said you want to do theater ongoing.
I want to pursue a career in theater.
Do you go to Arts Trek in the summer?
Yes, I did. I went, actually, my first year was this year. It was an amazing program.
Yeah, it's fun. Awesome. Kuda, what about you? What's the number one moment when you think about your illustrious career so far? What's that moment that you feel, okay, that was the moment that means the most to me?
I think it was when I was in grade 10. We do like one act plays. Sometimes we travel for competitions to go to zones. And then my play was not chosen to go to zones, but the other was. But then the main character in that play got sick and she had a ton of lines. So then last minute I had to learn the lines so I could go help them compete because we all were really excited to go compete. And then we thought the performance didn't go that well. We all did our best, but it was like so hard. But then I ended up getting like the Best Actor award, and I was really proud of that because we put a lot of effort in there, and especially since it was like a lot more work because I'd never seen the script. Like I'd seen them practice it, but I'd never actually taken the script. So then to like become that character like so quickly, I was really proud of myself.
Has anything ever gone terribly wrong in a performance?
Yes. Last year, actually, at our one acts, we had 3 characters who were sick the day of the performance. So we had to get people to step in and fill in their roles. And we had people on stage with scripts, which we do the best that we can, you know. That was definitely one of the worst that's happened for us.
Yeah, how about you, Kuda? Any tragedies in your performance career?
I feel like I've had a lot of tragedies, but I feel like theater-wise, when I first did Mulan, we had planned to because I was playing Mushu, but I can't actually breathe fire, unfortunately. So the plan was that I was going to stand in front of a backdrop and they were going to blow fire, and then I was just going to be overly dramatic and pretend that I was blowing it. And then I think it was the final show, like all the other shows, they worked perfectly, but then the fire did not work. So I was just standing there, and then I was just looking at my mom, and I was like, oh my goodness. Because like you can't really get out of character, but I was just blowing, and there was nothing behind me. And I was like, wow.
When I was your age, I was playing the guy that kills or tries to kill Dracula, Dr. Van Helsing. And so it's the moment where I'm about to pound the stake into his heart to kill him. And I go, and the head of the hammer went flying into the audience. So I just shoved the stake in, old school. One final question. Mr. Campbell is sitting right here, so I want to see how much you can impress him. You're on an elevator. Not that we have lots of elevators in Fort McMurray, and you've got a couple of floors to tell somebody about why they should come and see Mary Poppins. What would you say, Mallory? Go.
I would probably say that this is an all-student production. The students are doing everything, and we put in so much hard work and time, and it's amazing when we can fill that theater, and it's a great feeling when you can sit in there and see that every seat is full, and everyone has done an amazing job and have tried their best. So,
How about you, Kuda?
I think I would tell them that if, as part of the Wood Buffalo community, like we try to encourage each other, and I feel like it'd be so, like they'd get a lot out of it coming to support one of our community events. But then also, like I think thinking about the impact, sometimes you get a lot of joy from what you bring to other people, and then just providing the audience that somebody can entertain, because that's what we do as actors, we entertain. So if you want to take the chance and then see what happens, I think we'll be able to impress you. And the only way we can do that is if you come.
You might have a lot of teachers and some of the folks involved helping the production. What would you say to them in terms of thanks, in terms of all the people?
That they've been so amazing, and we wouldn't have half of the stuff or be where we're at without them, and just thank you so much. It's so amazing. Like,
Awesome. Well said. Well, ladies, good luck. They say break a leg. I've never liked that saying, but break a leg.
I hope, yeah.
I'm sure you're going to be great. You're incredibly
Hopefully
well
after
spoken.
production.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's Mary Poppins, the Broadway musical, December 14th, 15th, and 16th at the Suncor Energy Center for the Performing Arts, which is located in Holy Trinity Catholic High School, and tickets are on sale now. Do not wait, because it will sell out. That's positive thinking.
yes.
It will happen. Ladies, thanks again. You've been listening to Impact. It's a team effort of the United Way of Fort McMurray and Wood Buffalo, Fuse Social, Your McMurray Magazine, Shaw Spotlight, and 91.1 The Bridge.